We're getting set for the first semifinal in the SEC today, back on January 25th. Auburn and Tennessee. We didn't know if Johni Broome would be able to go. We were watching him in warm-up saying, man, oh man, is he going to be able to get up and down the floor? He had a great game. Miles Kelly hit the huge three that ultimately proved to be the game winners. Zakai Ziegler, really tough shooting night. Number one team in the country. Won it by 2. There is Ziegler, who has really found a little bit more of his range, shooting the ball much better than he did for that stretch in the middle of the season.
And he was outstanding yesterday in the second half against Texas. He got into a little bit of foul trouble, picked up his second foul, sat out, the last 6-7 minutes of the first half, and that really changed Tennessee's defense. When he came back in, they were a completely different team and ran away from Texas in that second half. He's the engine that makes Tennessee go because of the pressure that he puts on the ball at the point of attack, and he is so strong. His size doesn't matter. It does not matter, because when you're good enough, you're big enough, and he is good enough. He's the real deal.
Interesting thing about him, when he played against Auburn, if he gets up underneath Denver Jones, you know what Bruce Pearl does? He hands the ball to Chad Baker-Mazara, right, and he initiates the offense. So that's the great thing about the Auburn offense. Any number of guys can initiate the offense. So I understand Zakai Ziegler. To me, this game's going to come down to a couple things. How early they bring Tahad Pettiford in the game, who gets him some easy offense. But it's Johni Broome, and you talk about the ball screen defense. To me, I understand that, Jay, but my concern about the ball screen defense is as long as they're not making threes in their losses, they're only making 7 threes, shooting 26% from the three-point line. In their wins, they shoot 36%. If Auburn defends the three-point line, Tennessee's not going to make enough twos to beat them.
And that's what they do. I mean, Auburn's one of the best three-point defenses in the country. They want to make you take tough twos, and then they've got really good rim protection with Johni Broome and Dylan Cardwell. Chaney Johnson gets in there and protects it. Yeah, they're a tough team to beat that way.
JB, I agree with you on Johni Broome. Obviously, you're looking at a guy, top consideration for National Player of the Year. I would try to get him in ball screens as much as possible and try to reverse the ball and have Okpara, whoever he's guarding, sprint to more ball screens, make him move laterally, just because, look, he's still been dominating SEC play and national play, but I think that left leg is interesting to watch over time.
Okpara can't beat you. Phillips can't beat you, all right? He can get on the screen enough just to string it out as long as they run him up the three. Denver Jones is huge in this game because his ability to defend the basketball, whether it's Chad Baker-Mazara is going to start on Lanier, but he's going to have a run at him as well. This dude guards the ball as well as any player in college basketball because he can pressure it, keep it in front, and use his size and length. To me, he's kind of the head of the snake of their defense on the ball.
So they're going to switch everything anyway. They switch everything. So you're going to see a ton of – how they're going to handle those switches is going to be the key.
Well, I was talking about yesterday with Tennessee. I can't tell you how many times in their last matchup the opposing team just lost Chaz Lanier on the floor. Auburn is not going to do that.
That's not happening.
They stay disciplined. And I know he's averaging 23 points right now on 58% shooting from the field over the last 2 games. But Chad Baker-Mazara is going to stay disciplined. Denver Jones and Zakai Ziegler, that size advantage. You talk about bigger wings and guards. Guarding smaller guards is going to be a critical matchup.
They're tough to run on. Auburn's a tough team to run on because of their floor balance and their shot selection.
All right, Jay, you've got the game with Dan Schulman, so we're going to release you from your duties. You've been paroled.
They can start the game late.
Can I stay?
Yeah, you can stay.
If you'd like to.
The game will be better without you.
Schulman says, please stay.
He's looking to do the game by himself.
That's Dan Schulman and
I got news for you. Rece would like all of us to leave.
Dan Schulman and I, we are like-minded fellows. Dan Schulman and the guy will have the call of the game for you later on. Jay, have a great call, my friend. Look forward to hearing it. What a great day it is in the SEC. Auburn and Tennessee will start. Pete Thamel joins us now. Earlier we talked about the change they're making at Villanova with Kyle Neptune. Some other news from around the sport. Pete, what do you got?
Well, Rece, obviously Villanova has made official that dismissal of Kyle Neptune. That search will hover over this NCAA tournament. Obviously, Kyle Neptune got fired because he did not make the NCAA tournament, so the coaches in the tournament are going to be who Villanova targets. There's some interesting headwinds facing Iowa, Rece, which dismissed Fran McCaffrey this week. Iowa's not in great financial shape, and they do not have a strong appetite to pay a big buyout. Darren DeVries, for example, the West Virginia coach, would be owed $4.67 million back to West Virginia if Iowa's going to hire him. That makes it a tough pill for a place like Iowa to swallow that has financial concerns. Cooper Flagg out today. We'll see if he plays in Duke's 16-1 game next week. And finally tonight, Rece, Juwan Roberts will not play for Houston. I've been told this is precautionary. He's expected back for the NCAA tournament. I had a source tell me if today was an NCAA tournament game for Houston, Juwan Roberts would play.
Bryant hosting Maine, the America East Championship. Second half, Bryant has a big lead. Earl Timberlake, alley-oop, Barry Evans. And Bryant made the tournament back in 22. They're on their way back. 37 seconds away from Phil Martelli Jr. leading the Bulldogs into the postseason. These are the tickets that will be punched today. Bryant's going to claim that one from the America East. Conferences, both power and outside that realm, are looking for Cinderellas. We'll have those bids solidified by the end of the day. We're closing in just over 5 minutes away from taking you courtside with Dan Schulman, Jay Billis, Jess Sims as Arby, and he's set to try to win in Tennessee's backyard. The Big Orange here. It's basketball time in Tennessee as the Vols try to make their way to the title game tomorrow.
I thought it was Dan Schulman and the analyst.
It is. It's Dan Schulman and the analyst.
Let's stay consistent. That's all.
All right, let's do some game picks here on this championship Saturday and championship weekend, and start with the Big 12 title game, which will be on ESPN tonight. Houston and Arizona. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Houston in this one. I just think their defense is so disciplined. If they can stop Arizona from getting out in transition, control the pace of the game, and the way L.J. Cryer and the way Uzan play, controlling the tempo of the game, I think it's the most critical.
Houston builds a wall around that three-point line, and they force every shot to be a contested shot. They don't turn it over. They rebound it on the offensive end, which takes you out of transition, and the guard play has been much improved. So I like Houston in this game.
I really get worried when we keep picking the same team. We should probably hedge our bets.
You're finally listening to me.
Just when you don't like it, but wait, there's more. ACC championship game. Duke has won the tournament 22 times. No Cooper Flagg. Louisville's never won the ACC tournament. Haven't been in the league that long. Who wins the game tonight?
I think Terrence Edwards Jr. and Chucky Hepburn have the best backcourt in the ACC, but I think ultimately Duke's size and their length on the defensive end, even if you can extend them, which is what they should try to do, I still think it makes it difficult for them to make shots at the rim. And not having Rain Smith on the court, I think ultimately it hurts Louisville from a floor spacing perspective to keep the defense honest. I got Duke win this game. Plus I have a bet with Harry Douglas. Harry, I'm going to get my win.
That boy bad.
That boy bad.
Yeah, I thought Duke showed a lot of courage yesterday, just the way they got up to a good start. I think they settled in a second time through. Isaiah Evans, he's got to be better in this game. I mean, let's face it, he really, really struggled, but he has the ability to open up the floor. I think their ability to protect the front of the rim, Kadippo is a very tough matchup, and I'm looking for, he didn't show up yesterday, but Mason Gillis, in this game, especially against Hadley, I think he becomes a factor.
It's 8:30 Eastern time tonight or thereabouts for the ACC championship. Big East title, top two seeds, Creighton and St. John's.
I'm going to go with Creighton in this one. I know they split the regular season. I think Colt Brenner's going to stay out of foul trouble. I think they're going to make life difficult. He's not going to get in foul trouble. They're going to get defensive rebounds. And I think end of games, the Kadari Richmond, I think they're going to blitz those and get the ball out of his hands and really force other players to make plays. I got Creighton.
I believe in the Godfather. I mean, the Godfather, one thing they're going to do, you're going to play hard, they're going to rebound the ball, they're going to be relentless defensively. I think the size, overall size, basically swallows up Ashworth. And when you play that one-man zone in the middle in that drop coverage, I think that Rick Pitino's going to have his guys go right at the heart of Kalkbrenner, which is going to open up the offensive glass.
You see Auburn and Tennessee, not far away from tipping off here in the SEC. Mountain West, Boise State, Colorado State.
I'm going to go Colorado State here. I mean, they beat Boise State twice. I know it's hard to beat the same team 3 times. But Nick Clifford is an absolute monster. He had 36 points in their last matchup.
That dude is a matchup nightmare. Dominates the paint, shoots the three. Nico Medford, you want to watch a fun game? They execute offensively as many as any in the country. I got Colorado State.
As we await Auburn and Tennessee, the second semifinal in the SEC as the Volunteers are taking the floor. Florida and Alabama around 3:30 Eastern time.
Look, I said it before. I think Florida can win a national championship. I love their guard play. Alabama has elite guard play as well. But I think Alex Condon and company in their front court is going to be the difference in this game in the offensive glass, like it was the last matchup. I got Florida with the win.
I agree with you, Jack. To me, I look at Florida. I can't find a weakness. Top 10 in offensive, defensive efficiency. And what that means, they get the shot they want. You don't get the shot you want. The versatility of their front court and the versatility and depth of their backcourt. Too many shot makers. I think it's going to be a terrific basketball. If you want to watch one game today, watch this one. This is an absolute going to be as good as it gets.
But we don't want you to watch just one.
I would like for you to watch all of them.
All of the games.
We just heard the strains of Rocky Top being played by the Tennessee band. Some news from Pete Thamel a moment ago. Chad Baker-Mazara will start for Auburn today. A largely symbolic measure, Bruce Pearl said, not starting him yesterday after being ejected for a flagrant 2 in the regular season finale against Alabama. So he will be in the starting lineup for the Tigers against Tennessee.
That's true.